Once upon a time in a beautiful village between babbling brooks, there lived a young boy named Oliver. He was known far and wide for his infectious laughter, rosy cheeks, and his undying love for adventure. But above all else, Oliver adored his grandmother, a wise old woman named Agnes. Her eyes sparkled with stories of the past, and her heart was a treasure chest of timeless wisdom. One crisp winter afternoon, Oliver returned home from school, his face etched with a scowl that would rival even the darkest storm clouds. He burst through the door, flinging his backpack on the floor with a thud that made Agnes jump in her rocking chair. "Granny, you won't believe what happened today," Oliver exclaimed, his voice quivering with indignation. Agnes gazed at her grandson with her warm, knowing eyes, inviting him to share his story. "What's the matter, my dear?" Oliver began to recount a tale of how his classmates had blamed him for a broken window at the school. He insisted that it was an accident, that he had only been playing nearby, but no one believed him. The weight of the accusations bore heavily on his young heart. Agnes listened intently, her lips forming a thoughtful smile as her wrinkled hand beckoned him to sit beside her. "Oliver, my love, let me tell you a story of my own." She began to narrate the tale of her youth, when she and her brother, Samuel, had tended a small garden behind their cottage. One day, a prized rosebush, lovingly nurtured for years, was found trampled and withering. Agnes and Samuel were certain that it was the mischievous neighbor's son, Thomas, who had caused the damage. In their anger and hurt, they confronted Thomas, accusing him of the crime. But Thomas denied it vehemently, his eyes wide with innocence. Agnes and Samuel couldn't prove otherwise, so they begrudgingly accepted his denial. Weeks passed, and the same incident occurred again. This time, Agnes and Samuel decided to keep watch on their garden, and to their shock, they discovered that it was not Thomas but a curious rabbit that had been responsible for the destruction. Their hearts sank with shame, for they had wrongfully blamed an innocent boy. Agnes looked into Oliver's eyes, her voice carrying a message as old as the hills. "My dear, it's important to remember that sometimes, things are not as they seem. Blaming others without evidence can hurt them and lead to misunderstandings. In our garden, we learn to take responsibility for our actions, and we should always strive to own our mistakes." Oliver's face slowly transformed from anger to understanding. He realized that in his rush to defend himself, he had overlooked the importance of honesty and responsibility. He thanked his wise grandmother for her story, and he knew what he had to do. The next day at school, Oliver confessed to his teacher and classmates that he had, in fact, accidentally broken the window. He offered to help pay for the repair and accepted any punishment that came his way. The cloud of doubt and blame that had hovered over him began to dissipate. In time, the village learned of Oliver's honest admission and admired his courage. His act of responsibility taught them all a valuable lesson about the importance of owning their actions. And as for Oliver, he knew that his beloved grandmother's wisdom had not only saved him from a path of deceit but also strengthened the bond between them, reminding him of the timeless value of honesty and self-accountability.